Well, I'll do this introduction so that it will be readily apparent that no one will ever ask me to do this again. We're going to talk about Tim Zinda, and I first met Tim at St. Timothy's in Blaine, and then he was working in Ramsey County Jail. I volunteered in Ramsey County Jail for about 10 years, and he got appointed by the Archdiocese to head up the prison ministry stuff. They gave him $100 and told him go to it. So he was had a leadership role along with Father Stan in formating deacons. Giving them instruction on how to execute a prison ministry, and we have one of his students here this evening is Gordon, Deacon Gordon, went through that ministry with Deacon Tim. You want to say something about that?
1 minute.
1 minute. I said 1 minute. Yeah.
So I've been ordained about 7 years now. Assigned to St. Joseph, I live in Lakeville. Also a member of All Saints. And of course, when you go through formation, you go through the different dimensions of spiritual, human, intellectual, and pastoral part of whatever element, whether it's charities, whether it's sick and suffering. One summer it was prison ministry. And of course, we were all assigned that to Ramsey County Adult Detention Center. Tim was our leader. And the only thing I have to say is, what I always appreciated about him was his frankness. That to just be yourself and, listen well and don't bullcrap us. Because every week we had to report back what we learned during our 5 hours with different inmates. And that was very difficult. We were all pretty green. But one thing, I'll leave you with this, one thing about Tim, that he had said, we had this saying that when we went through formation called trust the process, right? And we said that once when we were out there kidding, when we were going through Ramsey County Adult Detention Center. Tim said, he looked at me and he said, don't you just want to punch him and tell him to take a hike to wherever you like? And I'm paraphrasing. I got appreciation for it because he really taught us to meet people where they're at. And that's what I really learned the most from Tim. So God bless you and thank you. And I went on some long bike rides with Father Stan, but now I understand you're chipping at the golf course now, so I'm taking it much easier, but got a lot of respect for these men.
Thank you. I mean, you can imagine the work that went into this effort, where you've got maybe 10 or 12 people in training, maybe more, and you've got to find a jail that'll take them, and like Gordon was saying, all of the verbatims and everything they'll write up, and putting on the classes, and I think that's one of the toughest jobs is to coordinate everything and try and make it work. And Tim did a great job. Thank you very much for that. Let's see, what else do I want to talk about? Oh, you're a magician! I knew that! I didn't do that tonight, going for a rabbit out of my head? No? Okay. Yeah, that was wonderful. That was so entertaining. But in any event, I would like to congratulate him and thank him for his many years of work. And do we have something for him? Oh, what? Oh yeah, you got to say a few words too.
Well, yeah, being the coordinator of correctional archdiocese was an honor. It's, when you first ordained, they asked you, what do you want to do for your ministry? Because we all have to do a ministry. And I said, I'll be a hospital chaplain. You know, they always give you the opposite of what you want, you know. But, you know, I relied on Twin City Prison Ministry a lot of times because, you know, I just didn't have the stuff to do everything, you know. My main job was to make sure we had a presence in the jails and prisons where we could get it. And the other thing is I love the humor that goes on around everything. I was at Nelka County Jail, and I had this a Hispanic man used to come out. He used to genuflect and kiss my hand. And I said, "You don't need to do that." He said, "Well, you're a holy man." I said, "Well, that's true, but you don't need to do that." You have to excuse some of my language on this next part here, but I did my internship at the juvenile place, Totem Town, and you know, these kids, I mean, this one kid I met that I was supposed to have a really strict relationship with, he was so funny. I said, "You know, you should be like on America's Got Talent and be a comedian." But he went to a special school because of behavior problems, and so he just didn't go. And he said, well, the principal called me up and said, "Well, I'm suspending you." He said, "Well, I feel like coming down there and slapping your bitchin' ass." He said, "Oh, and they locked up windows and doors, and they took me to court." And it just was so funny when he was telling it. It was, you know, not as funny as it sounds now. But, you know, I retired, but I think it was maybe going on 2 years ago as coordinator of corrections. And the archdiocese or the head deacon wanted clergy involved, you know. And I said, well, you know, Twin City Prison Ministry handles so many things. I mean, they just cover the whole gamut, more than one person can. And I said, you know, during the years being coordinator, I always often sent people over to Twin City Prison Ministry, you know, to do whatever they could for that person. So I said, okay, I'll just be in the background if they need help. So we turned it over to Twin City Prison Ministry, but I think helped them get a lot more funding, because when I first started, they said, "Oh, there's no money for you guys." And then finally, another deacon who came in charge said, "Well, you got funds." I said, "Well, why didn't you tell me that?" So anyway, we were able to get funds, you know. We did presentations. We started a program called Embrace, which, you know, it's a good idea, but it kind of fell through, you know. Just because of insurance purposes and stuff, they just thought it was too liable. But I just want to thank everybody. It's a great ministry. I love it. I don't do my visits anymore. I just can't because of health reasons with me and my wife. But I miss it, and you know, I pray for you all every night. Thanks.
Thank you.